So I have gotten myself into some trouble and I am in need of some help. And quite honestly, I'm not even exactly sure what I should do. So this story begins yesterday when I decided to take my tractor out to go do some brush hogging. You know, our farm is about 160 acres here in northern Vermont. I usually like to say that about 50 of those acres are pasture and 110 of those acres are forest. But the reality of that fact is really it's about, I don't know, 95 or 100 acres are true forest. And then about 40 or 45 acres are true pasture. But there's a lot of stuff that kind of sits in between. You know, between being a forest and being pasture and kind of really being more or less scrub brush that's hard to pass through, but is easy enough to clean up. And so oftentimes with that stuff, I usually go once or twice a year with my tractor and I'll take the brush hog and I'll mow down the shrubs and the trees that are starting to grow just in an effort to maintain as much pasture as possible. That is what I was doing yesterday. And for many folks who've been following the headlines as well as watching our videos, you know that this has been a very soggy summer. We've had way more rainfall than usual. This past July, Vermont was hit with some serious flooding. And so because of that fact, I've gotten a little bit behind on my brush hogging, and a lot of the pasture still remains so soggy that I don't dare take my tractor onto it. But we had several days in a row of sun, and it seemed like most of the pasture was drying out by yesterday, so I decided to take an afternoon and go through and brush hog. And that's essentially what I did. I went through and I cut paths and I cut down scrub and I cut down brush and I did everything I possibly could to clean up that pasture area. So yesterday I was out brush hogging the secret pasture. Oh look, a deer. When I suddenly became stuck in a whole bunch of mud. Try as I might, I couldn't get my tractor out, and I was sinking faster than some German boy's horse in a swamp of sadness. So the next morning I went back out there with my ATV, as well as some boards and some shovels, and I tried to dig my way out. Oftentimes digging a little bit and using boards is a good way to try to pull your tractor out, because essentially what happens is the boards act as a surface that the tractor's tires can grip to, and then the tractor can push itself out. But unfortunately, between a combination of all the heavy rains that we've had lately, as well as the fact that I seem to have found a secret pond, I was completely stuck, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get out. And so, oh, Ginny, that hurt. Oh, God. And so that basically catches you guys up to where I am right now. And I have often found that when I'm in situations like this and I need help, there's really only one friend I can count on. And that friend owns that there excavator over there.
My buddy Alfred.
Can you get through? Yeah, pruning was part of what I was going to be doing yesterday. So there she sits, brokenhearted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I felt like I was in reasonably, you know, this looks like regular old scrub bug.
Yeah, no, that's legit. I was watching my front tires, you know, seeing how wet they got, and they're still bone dry.
Yeah, but then suddenly I just go into this corner and then boom, like swampland right here. I mean, this is why they let this grow in.
I brought 2 chains, anticipating, you know, the brush hog being on here, obviously. Yeah. My thoughts were attach
1 to each point.
Yeah, 1 to each point, and then go onto the forks somewhere, and then hopefully I can pick you up, at least get weight off of the back, and then start coming backwards.
That's the best way to go, right?
I wonder if we should loop around.
Well then. But yeah, I would definitely say I found a pond. Wow, would you look at this? At least I don't feel bad about getting stuck in like amateur mud here. Wow. Did I find a spring? Look at that. I mean, that's, where's that coming from?
There was that little pond back up behind your tires there.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this whole thing is just a spring. It's like...
Yeah, because you got water up there. I feel like, yeah, I'll go back in a minute and look and see if it's still running, but like, there's a lot of water just funneling in there. How about that? I mean, like, I knew that this stuff was like always swampy, and that's why like the trees have always grown the way they have. I guess that spot. Keep an eye out for.
These guys right here, pretty sure those are called sensitive ferns.
Yep.
I think they like wet ground.
Yes. Like, if you actually look out in the main pasture, there's like little clusters of them at the spots that are still soggy right now after all the rains.
Well, looks like the bottom of your tractor's still there, so that's good.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it touched the ground at all.
I knew that if I kept trying myself, I would eventually hit ground. But yeah, I was having the best afternoon yesterday, just driving around, like, not even trying to brush hog anything specific, just like, this is fun.
I definitely fully recognize just how lucky I am in this entire situation. I'm really lucky to have a friend like Alfred. I'm also very lucky that I didn't do any harm or damage to my tractor or myself or the land. And really, just in general, I feel very lucky to have this entire farm. Don't even think for just a moment that I don't wake up each morning and feel quite grateful for just how lucky I am to be here in this situation, living this life. Because quite frankly, even like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, this would have been completely unthinkable. And so for that, I'm exceptionally grateful. I'm also grateful that my bird food forest seems like it's doing pretty gosh darn well. We continue to get more pumpkins sprouting up over here. Here's a bigger one popping up. Another one over there. More pumpkin blossoms. You know, I was worried that the pollination wouldn't be happening in here, but I've seen a ton of bees coming through. Having a beehive just on the other side of that wall, I think makes a big, big difference, and so I'm glad I did that. I still water this area about, I don't know, once, maybe twice a week, and yeah, it looks like it's doing really good. This, by the way, is also Toby Dog's favorite place to eat his meals, because he can be inside of here, away from bird harassment. Of course, he's not immune from the barn cat harassment. Hi, Pablo. Hey Pablo, hi Pablo. Hey there Molly girl, how you doing? I will admit that one mistake that I made with this area is I didn't make a good trail for myself to get into here, and the chaos has just grown up, and so I've been sort of having to trample this one side just to get over to certain spots. But I don't know, it's okay. There's going to be plenty of food for my birds this year. There's another little pumpkin patch here. You know, some might worry that these pumpkins are later than they should be in terms of their development. I am actually personally not worried, because this whole greenhouse system gives me easily an extra 4, maybe even 6 weeks of growing that I wouldn't have with our usual killing frost. So I will have lots of extra time to produce a lot more food for the animals here. And yes, look at these buckwheat flowers. They are beautiful. Now, one area of the Chaos Garden I know a lot of people were curious about was that actual Chaos Garden, where I just started spreading random seeds all over the place. Let's see what we can find. Oh yeah, look at that. Some nice big kales popping up here. That's exciting. I don't see too much else. This looks like amaranth. I got some peas growing over here I can see. But yeah, pretty exciting. You can actually see our pond overflow has just started to recede enough so that this area is still going on. Oh no, look at this. This is a little bit sad. See all these little tadpoles? Unfortunately, they are caught up in the draining of this pond, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Don't think they're developing fast enough. So yes, I'm actually very worried about those guys. I mean, the stream is over on that side of the fence, or the pond is over on this side of the fence. I can already see here's actually a bunch of dead ones. So I think what I need to do is relocate those guys into here. Toby Dog, are you ready to help me with this mission? And yes, by the way, a tadpole relocation mission seems exactly like something that would come out of the Toby Dog book. The Kindle version is available for pre-order right now. The audio version will be available for pre-order very soon, and then the print version will be coming in September. I know Toby Dog is very excited about the book coming.
I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but I do know if I don't act quick, these guys will be dead very soon.
Alright, it looks like I got most of them here. The ones that I didn't get, they're just going to be the unlucky survivors.
They are going to be luckier than these sons of guns who were the ones that probably died yesterday. Wait for the crows to come and eat them.
But yeah, if you look at this bucket, it is absolutely teeming with life. They're gonna need a new home very soon. So let's take these little ones to their new home. And just know that the irony that this video started with me stuck in the mud and now is going to end with me rescuing some tadpoles who were stuck in the mud.
Here you go, little guy.
That parallel is totally not lost on me.